only two musicians I have played with in my life is Marco and Maxime. They had other bands, but I just met them and it was the right thing. Marco had already had many bands, and none of the bands were serious enough. From the very start, he wanted something serious.
On bass, Mr. Marco Bottolini, come on.
Maxime, he's two or 3 years younger than we are, and he started the drums when he was 5. He knew how to play drums before he knew how to talk. That's a legend, but that's true. He was always a drummer, yeah.
Don't you know that this might be a sin?
When I was 15 years old, I discovered Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin. I was listening to this music and I thought it was made by gods. It was very deep, very intense, and I felt things I had never felt before. It was really, truly magical. And I wanted to share this because that's what we do as human beings. We share what we feel, and I wanted other people to be able to feel the same way as I did, because I was like, wow, this is so magical. You guys have to hear this. Everybody was listening to rap music back then, so I wanted to show them, oh, there's something else that exists and it can make you feel like this. So I traveled around my school as a 15-year-old with my headphones and my Discman, and I wanted people to listen to the music that made me feel so good. But this technique wasn't very successful. People didn't really care, and there was no patience in listening to 8-minute songs. So I started playing the guitar naturally. I didn't know that was the reason. I don't think it's the only reason, but maybe it's the reason why I started writing music, being in a band, and wanting to play in front of people. In the end, I wanted to transmit these emotions, this very intense emotion I had felt. I wanted people to be able to experience the same emotions as I did. So I started doing it myself. And I think that's the main drive behind it, sharing the passion. The lockdown, the COVID times, was a great time for Dirty Sound Magnet. With Live Alert, we expressed our frustration. With DSM-3, we expressed our anger. And then came Dreaming in Dystopia. When we had expressed all those negative feelings, we could dream again. Music was always a dream to us. And no matter what's happening around us, music will always be there. So that's an album where we could see the light, despite all the darkness. I took my guitar, tuned it for some reason in a way I never tuned it before, and the first thing I played was Melodies from Distant Shores. I didn't have to work a lot for it, so it just happened. And as it happened when I wrote it, it also happened with the band. Started jamming, and everybody found the groove very quickly. I sang the whole melody alone at the beginning.
There's a little baby born.
And then Marco said, oh, but I can do the second voice. And that just changed the song so much, because then there is this response between my low voice and then his high-pitched voice responding to mine, and that gives the whole contrast. It's a song that just fell into place very naturally. That's why it feels so relaxed also on the record, and it just happened, and just happy it exists as it is.
Don't you feel da 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 da?
The question is, do you invent the melody, or does the melody come to you? The title track of the album, Dreaming Dystopia, is about that very intense love of music we feel. It's a very positive song. Follow the melody deep into the sea, where there's a magic song waiting to be freed, and together we can reach eternity. That shows how valuable, like a small treasure, a song is, a melody is. So, you can go deep into the sea to look for that melody that is hidden somewhere, discover it, and then together you will exist for eternity. Once you've discovered that melody, it will be with you forever. When you're a musician, every melody is like a small treasure. So this is all about the deep relationship a musician has with his music. Music is all about contrasts. The very loud, silence. In the case of Tragedy of Man, it's the very dark lyrics and the very joyful music. In the atmosphere of the music, I tried to recreate the heavens, while the lyrics are very ominous and dark and negative about the outlook of humankind. I'm not able to write a positive love song. It always has to have some tragedy in it.
Let me tell you, girl, you need to let me go.
Two birds, and one of the birds has a broken wing, and it tells the other bird that it's time for migration, and all the other birds are flying south, and we won't be able to fly together, and you will have to fly alone, and I have to stay here, and I have to heal my wounds, and then I'll be able to fly again. So it's that metaphor for a relationship where everybody gets hurt, and then staying together longer just gonna hurt more. So we have to fly separately and on new paths, and maybe with other birds. So that's the meaning behind a lonely bird. My songwriting is always very sarcastic. I love that.
If I was a hero, I would lose the war. But I'm a terrorist. I set the bomb inside my soul and war.
I love when you can write about something very serious and make fun of it. In this case, there's just that one sentence that came to me that made me smile. If my name was Satan, I would kiss you all, but my name is God, I will kill you all. And it just made me smile. I was like, wow, that's so powerful, so strong. So let's write a song. Utopia is one of my favorite tracks on the album. I like the sarcasm, I like the melodies, I like the chorus that reminds me of the spaghetti western movies, and one of my favorite composers, who is Ennio Morricone. It's the first time actually that I started with lyrics and the vocal melody I had in my head, and it really made me understand I can have a different way of writing music. Instead of focusing on the guitar first and finding a riff, I could now think about the song directly, think about the lyrics and the melody and build around it. And that's why it's a very, very important song to me, because it really changed my perspective about how I can in the future have new ways of writing music.
Let's get on with life, but we should do it one last time.
Why don't we do it one more time? In this case, in a car.
Flowers and angels, the rest is chaos.
Flowers, Angels and Chaos is the answer to Lonely Bird. Same person, same situation. Lonely Bird is very dramatic. After all this drama happened, it's like doing the same mistake again. And this is a very light vision of a relationship. It doesn't have to be so dramatic and it doesn't have to hurt so much. We can take everything on the lighter side of things. It's taking things less seriously. So I let you discover the content of the lyrics because it's pretty funny and maybe a bit too personal and a bit too dirty to expose it on a video, but check it out.
Sorry, I've lost my mind, seeing what's been going.
I'm a rocker, so I write with guitar riffs. And I was always amazed by the music of the Beatles that is so harmonically rich. With this track, I think we were able to get more into that realm of harmonically rich tracks.
There's a spot in my bed that has burned, 'cause I play with fire.
Now that you talk about the Beatles, Paul McCartney dreamt yesterday. And this track was also dreamt. And maybe that's why it sounds so Beatles-ish, because that's the way they wrote music, I don't know. But I dreamt the melody. I woke up, heard the melody, was like, wow, that's cool. And then started working chord sequences around it. It's about the discomfort felt, the troubles, loneliness felt also as a musician in general during that lockdown era that evolves towards something very global, towards my worries about humankind. And the last few sentences, we're drowning. It's like we're drowning as a race. It's the conclusion of that whole water theme. The album starts with water, and water is always there through the whole album. And on the ending of this album, we are drowning.
I'm drowning.
Even if it's an album of light, there is still this aspect that's the dystopia. And there is all the problems, the wars, the ecological problems. And here, even if we are in a dream, here it comes as a realization, oh, the world around, it's actually a dystopia. Many tracks on this record came very naturally. We have enough experience and we know each other by heart, so a lot of tracks just happened. Insomnia didn't just happen. It's one of the first riffs we actually ever played together. It was stored in the big room of Dirty Sound Magnet Ideas, and every year or two the riff resurfaced. We tried to make a song out of it, but it never happened. But this time, after more than 15 years of playing together, all of a sudden the idea was allowed to exist on a record. Because it was the right time. There's always a right time for a song. And this was the right time.
There's a melody I never heard before. It just got in, it won't get.
Since a very young age, I'm very scared of snakes, and they appear in my nightmares.
And I chase the snake every night.
It's a track about so many things. It's a track about not being able to sleep, inspiration and obsession. There's that imagery about the snake, that snake you're chasing. It's like chasing sleep. And I think it can mean something else to many people. There's so much jamming going on, so much happening in that track. It's really kind of a summary of everything Dirty Sound Magnet is. And Maxime has these great backing vocals, Marco the same, and they all able to add their own creativity on every song on the album. And on this track, it's a very good reflection of the work we put in the band on a daily basis. Something that is great in Dirty Sound Magnet is that we are playing together for 15 years and we never felt the need to play in another band because every single one of us is able to express his creativity within the band on the musical level, but it goes beyond that. Maxim is a graphic designer, so he's able to design the visual world around our music. Marco has so many skills. He's the one recording. We are producing the music together. We're producing the visuals together. We're producing everything together. This band gives the opportunity for every one of us to express what they have to express.
There's a little baby born.
It's a different Dirty Sound Magnet album than the others. Every Dirty Sound Magnet album is going to be different from the one that we released before because we have no rules. And if you listen to yourself, you are always a different person. And if you're a different person all the time, you keep evolving, your music keeps evolving.
Don't you feel?
Where fans of DSM-3 would expect the same type of outburst of energy, they will have to reconsider how they're gonna listen to Dreaming Dystopia. It's a total different vibe.
There's a lonely bird waiting in the rain.
To listen to this new album, you have to let go of your preconceptions of what Dirty Sound Magnet should be. It's just music. It's really an atmosphere we tried to create. It came very naturally, but I think, like all our albums, the more you listen to it, the more you will get into it.